So I would like to start off this video by saying that I don't hate EXE games. I like them quite a lot. I started to play them back in 2012 when I found out about Sonic.exe. I basically grew up with them. I remember the Sonic.exe 2 trilogy by Novaware. I remember Rouge.exe and Rainbow.exe by JBM. I remember the terrible game editor games by Insane Peaky Pie. I remember Randy Becker's game and the three games that revived the EXE genre. Sonic.exe Nightmare Beginning, Spirits of Hell, and most importantly, PC port remake. Basically, I played a lot of EXE games, and I even made some horror games on my own, such as Luna Game 3D and Sonic.exe. So I think I know enough about them to make a statement about the recent Sonic.exe One More Time and One More Round games that have been published on GameJolt. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush and just say that these games are just terrible and are getting way too much credit for absolutely no reason. And that's because of this man called Luigikid Gaming. For those who don't know, well, I'm saying everyone fucking know who he is. Luigikid Gaming is a YouTuber that plays EXE game and react to horror content with some very questionable thumbnails and clickbait titles. And I don't blame him for using clickbait. There's a lot of YouTuber that does that, and you know, people need to pay their bills. I understand that. But spamming the keyword PC port in almost every single Sonic.exe game, even if it doesn't even have anything to do with PC port, all of that just because PC port, a good Sonic.exe game, is the EXE game that gives you a lot of view in quite a long time. This is quite insulting to anyone that work on PC port and PC port remake, because you're basically saying that these games are on the same level as these games. It's like if someone made a horrible battle royale game in Unity, and then you say that it's better than Fortnite in your title. Now, some of you will say, well, it's clickbait. It doesn't mean that they're actually good. You guys don't know what kind of audience Luigikid has. They're not really the smartest fan base. Now, I'm not saying that it's all of his fan base are like that. I have seen some of his fans that are actually smart, which are usually the people that can think and know when a EXE game is bad. But most of them will actually believe what Luigikid is saying. I'm pretty sure at the start of all of the videos, when there's a picture of Sonic.exe with a text saying, press like or Sonic.exe will eat your happy meal at 3 AM. Or some stupid shit like that. And I'm sure most of his fans will actually click like because they actually believe it will happen if they don't. And it's proof that it works because he keeps doing that intro over and over again. Even right now, if you go to his latest video, you're gonna have the fucking intro where, oh, click like or bad stuff will happen to you. So if they're gullible enough to press like on basically a threat, why would they not believe when Luigikid say that this Sonic.exe game is better than PC Port Remake? And another proof that they'll believe anything is when Luigikid made that video saying that the PC port was cancelled. Some people actually thought that it was cancelled, even though it wasn't. I would have given you a pass for getting this information wrong, but no, you should have known. John-Kun had put the old anti-piracy screen. I don't know if you purposely missed that as an excuse to make an emotional video about a game being cancelled that you were waiting for, or if you legitimately forgot about it. Now, assuming you didn't know, that doesn't make it any better, because even when you finally found out it wasn't cancelled, you still kept the video saying that it was cancelled, proving that you only care about the views and not the content itself. Let's move on to the actual games now. We'll start off with Sonic.exe One More Time. Now let me ask you something. What do you do when you want to make a Sonic.exe game but you have no knowledge in video game making and you're not willing to learn how to properly make a video game? That's right, you make your fucking game on the not-so-simple Sonic Worlds engine. Yes! And that's exactly what Mr. Pixel Production did. Now, me and some people in the EXE community have a particular hatred for this engine. Well, at least I didn't when Dan released Sonic.exe Spirits of Hell. But that's the problem, it was a success. The problem with this engine is that the game is pretty much built already. You don't need to code the physics, the HUD, the menu, the obstacle, the characters, the enemies, etc. It's borderline scratch when you make a game on the NSSSW engine. So of course a lot of developers thought to themselves, oh hell yeah, I can make my Sonic.exe fanfiction look good, and hopefully Luigikid will play it and will become famous. Ho, ho, ho. Unfortunately, many developers just try to repeat the same formula as Spirits of Hell by just adding spikes everywhere to add challenge, or just try to make the game a real life r/I am 14 and this is deep kind of game. To be honest, I would much prefer to have a bad, entertaining Game Maker EXE game than a boring NSSSW EXE game. The only person that ever made anything remotely good with this engine is Dan with Spirits of Hell, and as of late, Whispers of Soul, which is an amazing game. It's insane how much content is packed into this game. If you want to 100% the game, it will take you days to finish it. Also, the game is incredibly challenging, and not the putting spikes everywhere kind of challenging. No, the good kind of challenging where skills are actually needed. Now, we already established that the dev didn't do much of effort code-wise, because everything is already pre-coded for him. Same for the story, it's literally just a copy of the original Sonic.exe story. Nothing original there. Now this is where they get really riled up, because the only reason this game is doing so good is because of the fucking art style. I absolutely hate people that consider a game good just because of the sprite work. And I think this is what most people only care about, as I saw with many of the comments in the video Luigikid made. And you want to know why I did that? Oh, that's because of PC port, obviously. You saw how many people love the graphics. And by the way, just as a side note, the original PC port had this amazing art style and had at least an original story. The only major problem with the game was that the gameplay was absolute dog shit. Even Luigikid pointed out the gameplay is problem.
I don't like those chasing parts, especially if the gameplay needs a bit more polish. Seriously, polish this gameplay.
And yet, people deemed it the best Sonic.exe game ever made. I've seen worse looking games play better. The fact that more people praise Sonic.exe One More Time more than Sonic.exe Nightmare Beginning is fucking insane to me. And again, all of that just because of the fucking art style. By that very same logic, we could say that Sonic Colors Ultimate is better than Sonic the Hedgehog on the Genesis, because it looks good. Why bother making a fun, interesting game when you can just draw a scary picture of Sonic.exe instead? Huh? And if one of you come here and tell me, no, it's originally made the whole game on its own from scratch, well, bullshit. Most of the game is extremely inspired by PC Port Remake. It even blatantly says it on the game's page. It is literally just Sonic.exe with the PC Port Remake graphics slapped on it. Like, there's nothing impressive here. You're just copying an engine that gives you crutches to make your game easier to create, a story that already exists, and an art style that already exists. You made nothing original, and yet people have the audacity to say that it's better than PC Port Remake. Especially you, Luigikid. Shame on you, you bastard. Now, Sonic.exe One More Round, or as I like to call it, Holloway Simulator. At first, I thought it was gonna be Sally.exe in his own style, because that's usually how EXE games usually go. They do Sonic.exe and then they do Sally.exe. But there was a problem for Mr. Pixel Production. Sally.exe PC port doesn't exist. So logically, I thought to myself, oh, he will attempt to do something original, like make it have an original storyline and such. Nope, he just combined Sonic.exe with Sally.exe and called it a day, and slapped the PC port art style on top of it again! And also, just as a side note, the ending cutscene is laughable. It reminds me a lot of the end cutscene in SpongeBob 2.exe. And from what I've gathered, people expected something more from him too. They were quite disappointed. But then, our boy Luigikid dropped a video about it. And with his clickbait mind, he called it the best Sonic.exe game. Yes, there is no doubt about it. Of course. And as if that wasn't enough, in the description of that video, he says, is this the potential winner of the hashtag Luigikid Creepypasta Challenge Season 4? Absolutely unbelievable. And then you write in your fucking comment, hand down the best Sonic.exe game that's following the formula of the first original fan game so far? You think that's fucking original? Dude, you played a ton of EXE game and you insist on calling this original? Yeah, the same goddamn story as Sonic.exe and Sally.exe, and you have the balls to say that it's original? What about PC port? Even fucking GCDIE and I approved of it before the whole scandal. Which, by the way, I don't know why you got yourself involved into this whole drama, but whatever. I think I got more mad at Luigikid than the developer did, to be honest. To be honest, I think it's more a rant video about him than the dev, to be honest. Anyway, as always, Luigikid made his fan praise it because he's their god, and Sonic.exe will kill you if you don't like his video, as always. So yeah, Sonic.exe One More Round is the same thing as One More Time, just with the Sally.exe section added to it. Because why not? In conclusion, the fact that these games have a good art style that's not even their own doesn't grant them the credit and attention it's getting. To Mr. Pixel Production, I'd recommend you to switch engine. That way it won't feel like you're using crutches to make your game. And you will actually learn more about game making in the process instead of an SSFW engine doing all the dirty work for you. I'd also recommend you to come up with an original story instead of copying Sonic.exe and Sally.exe. And then you will actually have something that most people in the community will respect. Seriously, most of the greatest EXE game makers saying that these games are garbage. Go ask JaizKoys, go ask John-Kun, go ask Joe Duff Boy, go ask SunFIRE. They will all tell you the same thing as me. Now, this one part is for Luigikid, because you're the reason that I made this video, to be honest. We in the EXE community are very tired of you overshadowing competent EXE games like PC Port Remake by putting it on the same level as these garbage game that you're hyping up as better than PC Port and original, what they're clearly not. And man, PC Port isn't even released and you're already trying to devalue it with these titles. Wait until they're released before doing that. Come on, dude. And believe it or not, you're driving away some of the creators because you're essentially telling us that it's better to do a game with minimal effort with the spooky art style than to work years on a game, only to get little to no attention because the other game that took a month to make got released before the one that took 9 months. Even though what John-Kun saying that the PC Port remake is cancelled was a joke, he genuinely thought about cancelling because of your titles putting his game on a pedestal with other games that were finished. So yeah, Luigikid, please stop trying to compare games against each other and please higher your standards as well. You've played so many EXE games at this point. I think you truly do know when an EXE game is good and when an EXE game is bad. You were able to say that Gumball.exe was bad. Surely you can do the same with the Sonic.exe game. And also this video will also be a platform for those that has valid criticism towards Luigikid. So if you have anything to say about Luigikid or the game he's trying to hype up and all, don't hesitate to write it down in the comments below. So yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry if I yell and if I was being rude. It's just a subject that I'm very passionate about, so I want to pour all my heart out to get my point across. Don't worry, I won't start doing videos like this. I just wanted to talk about it for this one specific occasion. With that said, goodbye.